Hey, welcome to my channel. What you just seen me shooting was this Rossi Model 92. The caliber is 45 long Colt or Colt. I know people get a little bit, I don't know, a little bit upset if you call it a long Colt, but it's a 45 Colt. And we were shooting at 50 yards, and you can see right here's the target that we shot. And you can see that, for a pistol caliber in a rifle, this is a 24-inch octagon barrel. I do have the Marbles rear tang and a Lyman globe front sight. And we had 4 of them here within an inch. And of course, there's always, you're always going to pull one. But this load is what I usually use for the lever action silhouette. So it is a 255 grain bullet, and it is 6.5 grains of Trail Boss powder. Now, it's a relatively light load, and I've tried a whole different array of powders and bullets to try to see if I could get a little bit more accuracy out of it. But I mean, by far, this one right here seemed to be to do the best for me. So this is the one I kind of stuck with for a while. But while I was out there, I thought, hey, I might as well give it another try. And I've tried these 200 grain 45 caliber wad cutters, and they are for the I got this written down here. Yeah, the 452 460 Lyman, and I have a gang mold in that a four cavity gang mold for that Lyman mold, and you can pump out a lot of lead bullets that way. And I like to load, but I like to get my components. If there's an easier way to do it, and do it accurately, but if there's an easier way to do it, then a gang mold's the best way to go. And you can pump 4 out every time you knock the handle, so you can cast up a pile of them in an hour or two, and you're good to go for the season. Especially for 45 ACP. I really don't shoot the 45 ACP, so me and my harebrain, I figured, well, why not load one of these in the 45 Colt rifle and see what I could do. So hey, let's take a look at that. And before we go, there was some sighting in issues, and I had the one pig out there, so you'll see some X's through me trying to get it on the pig, and then I'm going to shoot 5 on the pig. Didn't spin them, so all right that way. All right, well, we're back. You can see that this is the pig, and the first one was a bottom one where we that was a harebrained shot there. But right here, we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think there was one that was X'd out here. So there was, I'm not really sure which one, but there was a couple that went high, not very consistent, but it did hit the pig every time. Maybe a little bit of load work. Maybe Trail Boss isn't the right powder for that bullet. Maybe I'm going to try some unique. Maybe I've tried 42-27 in this particular rifle. I couldn't, a whole variety of grains of it, and it didn't seem to like that type powder. So I'm going to maybe try unique, or probably not bullseye, but maybe unique, maybe a little bit of 2400. I don't know that 2400 is the right powder for 45 Colt. So hey, if you have any ideas of loads that you've tried in your 45 Colt rifle that might be something for me to give it a try, leave it in the comments below. I sure appreciate that. But I'll go over the rifle a little bit. This is my Rossi Model 92. This is a copy, of course, of the Winchester Model 92, and you can see here that the rifle is unloaded. And there's been some, I don't know, complaints, but people, purists would talk about this safety. This is a safety that there's a little bit of just a little knob here you turn one way or the other. This is unsafe here, and it is basically a pin block. It blocks when the hammer goes down. It's not going to hit the firing pin. And how do I say this without making anybody mad? You can never have too much safety, I think, on any rifle. So what this does allow you to do, if you're in a competition and you get mucked up and something didn't go right, and you're going to do an alibi, and you've got 3 rounds in the tube, well, now you've got to run that action to unload it. Of course, you're pointed safe downstream, and you'll do that, down the firing line. But what this safety does is, even if there was an accidental hit, the gun's not going to go off. So like a Winchester, they don't have that. So if, once you click one back, it's full cock. And once you bring it down, you touch that trigger, it's going to go off. But with this type safety, you're spared that accidental discharge if you don't keep your finger out of it. So that is kind of a nice feature, I think. I know they're frowned upon in some of the circles, but I'm more of a, hey, if it works, I don't really care whether the safety's on the top or not. So I can see the rifle shoots good for me. I've got some fairly decent scores with this rifle. I use a 357. It's the same rifle, only in 357 caliber. Also, I have these all geared up. You can see I have my sight settings on the stock. These are working guns. And, I even have a cheek piece glued onto the side here. It just makes it more comfortable when you're shooting the gun, so you can keep it on target. That's pretty much all I have to say about the 45 long Colt. Sorry guys, 45 Colt. So if you have any questions, comments, or you have one of these and you're getting some good results out of it, better than maybe an inch or so at 50 yards. These shoot 2.5, 3 inch groups at 100. What you're shooting at, though, is a ram target, and it's got a good 6 or 7 inch circle. So if you can hit 3.5 at 100 yards, you're going to hit the target if you do your part. But remember, this is an all offhand shooting. Today I was shooting off the bench. I did some offhand shooting. I didn't put it on film because, quite frankly, I just wasn't feeling it that day. So, I got a lot of hits, but, a lot of misses. And, the comments can be brutal sometimes. So I just stuck around for, normally I would just show, me goofing around and doing whatever. But, hey, it's YouTube. So I got to make sure what you see is, the best that I can do. So this is the best that I can do. This load is something different for me. I tried it. Maybe I need to work on it. So hey, I appreciate you joining me. This is this week's 45 Colt rifle video, and I appreciate all your support. And I guess I'll see you guys next week. And hey, guys, have a great day.